Hey guys, so after our first meeting today, I really enjoyed getting to see everybody, and I figured out my problem with my iPad and everything. So tomorrow, when we're when we're doing our office hours, we will be ready to go. All right. Well, another question that I noticed that we struggle a little bit on the case test was question number 12. It said Bentley completes 3/8 of a puzzle. Then Paula completes 1/4 of the puzzle. What fraction of the puzzle do Bentley and Paula complete? Okay, think of it this way. If I said, I love to compare everything to food. If I said, I had a Hershey bar, one of those big 2-pound Hershey bars, and I ate 1/5 of the Hershey bar. And then Norbeth came along and ate another 2/3 of the Hershey bar. How much Hershey bar did we eat all together? That's really simple when I say it like that, right? What are we doing? What are we simply doing here? We're just going to add the two pieces. So I think when y'all saw this, you automatically wanted to multiply or divide or make it harder or subtract. But all it's really asking you is it says what fraction of the puzzle do they, let me get some colors here, do they complete? When we see the word complete, we're thinking, what did they add together? That's all we're going to do right here, guys, is do a quick addition problem with fractions. Okay, well, we know that when we add and subtract, we have got to find an LCD if they're not the same. Well, if you look at our denominators, you can see right here that our 8 and our 4 are two totally different numbers. So I taught you the little trick, if you remember, of drawing a 4 square. So we're just going to put us a little square here. Well, that doesn't really look like a square, but that's okay. Y'all use your imagination. And we're going to divide it up. Okay, so now we're simply going to add these two together. So my first number is 3/8. So I'm going to put 3/8 plus 1/4. The next thing I'm going to do, if you remember, is we circle our denominators. So I have a 4 and I have an 8. And if you can remember the trick that I showed you to do, we always, to save ourselves some time, we say our smaller number or smaller denominator into our larger denominator. And we see if it can go in there evenly. Well, this one's really easy because it's 4 and 8. So we know automatically that 4 can go evenly into 8. So boom, we've got our LCD. If we didn't know, if it wouldn't have gone into that number evenly, we could have come right here into this box and we could have written out all of our multiples of 4 and 8 until we saw something they had in common. Remember, there's a multitude of multiples in common, but we always want to find our least one because we want to make it easier on ourselves. Remember, we work smarter, not harder. So this is going to be 8 is my LCD. So now all I'm simply going to do is I'm going to take 3/8 and 1/4, and I'm going to put them in my box, and I'm going to add them together. But right now it would be like adding apples and oranges and getting bananas, and I can't do that. I want to either get all apples or all oranges. So we're going to bring it over, and we're going to put our 8 here. We're going to put our 8 there, okay? So what did I do to get 8? Well, that's simple. We know that we only multiplied times 1. Right? And remember, I've told y'all many times that fractions are very jealous. Whatever you do for the top, you've got to do for the bottom, or vice versa. Or they'll get in a fight and your paper will be messy and it'll just be horrible. So we know that we said 8 times 1 is 8. So we're going to go up here and say 3 times 1. And we're going to get 3. All right. Again, on the bottom, we have a 4 there. Well, we're trying to figure out what we multiplied 4 by to get 8. Wait, that's easy, right? So we're going to say 4 times 2. Again, they're very jealous, so say 1 times 2, and we have 2. All right, well, now we have a very simple problem because we have like denominators, and we know if we have a like denominator, we bring our denominator over. And then we're going to say 3 plus 2. What's 3 plus 2? That's easy. That's 5 Booyah, we're done. So let's go over here and find our answer. We cannot reduce 5/8. There is nothing they have in common, so there's nothing we can divide both of them by. So we're just going to circle letter D. Very simple, but I'm going to work one more with you so that you have this to go by in just a second. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to draw me a square. Y'all, that square is horrible. I'm going to draw me a square and set this problem up. So this problem, I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult because, you know, I've always told you we crawl, we walk, and then we run. So that first one, I think, was a crawling problem because we know how to do that. All right, so now we're going to add, we've got our 4 squares, and my number is going to be 3/8 plus 2/3. Okay, we've got 3/8 plus 2/3. So we're simply in the first box. We're going to set up our boxes. In the first box, we're going to put 3/8 down plus 2/3. Very simple. And I'm going to say, will 3 go into 8 evenly? And we know it won't. So we're going to set up, we're going to put 8 here. We're going to put 3 here. A lot of times I start with my smallest number first because I can usually figure out what the top number will go into as I go. So let's say we're just getting multiples of 3. We've got 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, let's see if we can find a number with 8 that can go into those. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So far, it's not helping us. 8 times 3 is 24. Booyah, we got it. So we know that 24 is my LCD. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to set that up. Just going to write it down. That's all I'm doing first. And then I'm going to set both of my denominators equal to 24 because that is my LCD. All right, so now I have to look at 8 and I have to ask myself, what did I multiply 8 by to get 24? Well, I know that that is going to be 3. So I'm going to come to the top. Like I said, they're jealous. Don't do something for one without doing it for the other. 3 times 3 is 9. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to say, what did I multiply 3 by to get 24? I multiplied 3 by 8 to get 24. So then I'm going to come and multiply 2 by 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So now we're simply ready to add. So I know that if I add 9 and 16 together, I'm going to get 25. And then I'm going to put that over 24. Your brain should be going ding, 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 ding. We have a problem. And our problem is that the fat man is sitting on the skinny man. Right now, it's not that much difference. They can handle it, but he still says, I'm uncomfortable. So we know we have to make this a mixed number. Right now we have an improper fraction, and in Miss Stroop's classroom we are never improper. So here we go. We're going to say 24 into 25. That's going to go one time. So I could come here to the side and I can divide that out. 24 will go into 25 one time. 1 times 24 is 24. Subtract 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring it up. My answer is 1 and 1/24. Just like that. So that would be my answer. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you this video up, and I want you, of course this video is up because you're watching it right now, and then I'm going to have you a few Mastery Connect questions to do on this just to see if you remember how to add fractions. We also, I'm going to go ahead too while I'm in this one and go ahead and subtract. Or no, we'll save subtraction for tomorrow. But I'll go ahead and put you up your Master Connection quiz, and then tomorrow during group when we meet, if you have a question, please let me know and I'll work through it with you. But I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye guys.